Alright, and we're live.
Wasn't too crappy.
Wait for that joke for an hour and 45 minutes.
All right, so
This is a case, I gotta tell the backstory of how we ended reviewing this. Because this is you sent me a link to this, I think it was on Twitter, like almost a month ago.
it was the trailer for this.
It was a trailer for this, and I looked at it, it's like, there's no way this is a real movie. And you said, yes, it is.
Yep.
And I'm just like, there's no fucking way. And I looked it up, turns out it's a real movie. And then, like, a few weeks go by, and I check Amazon, and under new releases, like new to rent, is now Butt Boy. And then I was like, Muha, it's out. The Butt Boy is here.
I
And
will
then, like, we have to watch it.
yeah, you do. You kind of do, especially in these times. Like, you feel like you're going mad. You need something equally mad. Honestly, I'm sad that we didn't get to see this in theaters, just because I would have loved to see this with an audience beyond just the two of us.
I don't know who many people would have actually like gone to see this.
I don't know, but I feel like the kind of people who would have paid to see this would have had reactions as enjoyable as ours. I feel like it would have been a similar crowd to the one that I encountered when I went to see Color Out of Space. But yeah, just really limited release weird horror movies, like just great. But yeah, so Butt Boy, someone took the concept of anal vor and made a serial killer movie out of it.
Yes.
And
basically, yeah.
I just, someone just stumbled on that weird corner of the internet and was like, I can do something with this. I could definitely do something with this. And I've been, ever since I saw that trailer, I've been wondering what the hell would happen, especially with all the reviews they put on the trailer where they say, a bunch of reviews just said somehow it fulfills its premise and all that stuff. Yeah, let's stay spoiler free for a minute before we
have spoilers eventually, but I'm okay with staying spoiler free for a minute.
Before we dig in.
So we dive deep into Butt Boy.
Let's dig a pinky in before we go up to the elbow.
A little tight, but we'll open up eventually.
This video is gonna get demonetized so fast.
Begin with, so what do I care?
Better. Okay, so I mean, if there are going to be a bunch of people who see this this video and don't even know what the premise is. So I guess we should just
we should probably explain what this movie actually is. I don't know how many people have heard of Butt Boy. So Butt Boys, and by the way, this isn't a spoiler. They give it away in the trailer. It's about a man who realizes that he really likes shoving things up his ass. To
the point do it to larger and larger things.
Larger things, and then it eventually becomes people. Or children, to be more specific.
Yeah. So
and he did this for a while, and he shoved a kid up his ass, and then that was his guilty moment. And then years later, he relapses, and now goes
on a spree shoving things up his ass again.
And he shoves another kid up his ass, and now we have a '90s style, like detective cop with a grizzled beard and the jacket and the greased back hair to go looking for him.
He's got his own alcohol problem and his own demons he's dealing with. And he knows something is up, but he can't quite. He doesn't have evidence, and it's definitely. It takes the concept and vibe of that kind of detective thriller, but it's Butt Boy. It's Butt Boy.
And for the most part, even though it's clearly meant to be funny, it takes, like, the actual tone takes itself fairly seriously.
No, it does. It plays it pretty straight.
Yeah.
And
no, there's
for the most part,
you're like, there's no way this was meant to be taken seriously.
No, absolutely not. And that's the great thing about it. Like, it's because for the beginning of the movie, we both had the same thing. I think I was laughing more than you were initially.
Yeah.
We didn't know, and he like what the first thing he was going to shove up his ass was going to be, and it was just showing shots of different things in the house, and I'm like, oh, he's going to shove that up his ass. He's going to. And there is a legitimate. It's got to be intentional. Where for the beginning of the movie, you just have this vibe where you're like, what's he going to shove up his butt? And it's hilarious. I found it so funny, and it's being played straight the whole time, and. And it's that's really the strength of the movie. It's when it's taking such an absurd concept so seriously, and it does it. It does it very well.
More so than the movie that kind of had a similar, like the most similar concept I could think of, be like Swiss Army Man.
Somewhat, but I think Swiss Army Man. Swiss Army Man had like a deeper goal. I think. It definitely hit a lot more things about life and philosophy and all that kind of stuff. But this definitely has that weird vibe to it. This is a weird movie, clearly. But
I mean, I didn't know, like, going into it. I don't know what to tell you. But
I don't know what you're expecting, but you're gonna get it.
The concept of teeth and going, yeah, I'm sure this will be fine.
Oh yeah, no, Teeth was a better made movie. Like that's the thing. This is it's at the same time as it's not clearly not as high budget of a movie as something like Teeth or Swiss Army Man, and it's a little cheaper in its approach to special effects and stuff. But at the same time, it's weirdly more effective as the movie it tries to be, in a way. It has that weird, grimy vibe to it.
It knows what it is.
Yeah. And I feel like Teeth had that too. It knew how to, but at the same time, there's something about the cinematography in this movie that's just kind of jarringly competent.
But also a little grimy, like just enough to kind of get that 90s feel.
No, it definitely has the griminess, but like we were both commenting, the cinematography in this movie is surprisingly good.
Which, for a movie that had to have no budget, is pretty impressive.
No, they definitely got some people on this. Like the cinematography is great. The soundtrack is great.
Yeah,
I really like the soundtrack. Yeah. The way they like, it's weird how they choose to like the color palette a little bit. Felt a little weird to me. But at the same time, it works. So you definitely get used to it.
It was very kind of like grimy, kind of, again, like LA cop kind of like orange, a lot of orange stuff, styles and blues.
Yeah.
To me, it fit the tone it was going for. Well, until you get close to the end, where
we'll
get to that. I'm not sure right now, but yeah,
I can't wait to get to that.
There's a moment where you kind of recontextualize a lot of what you thought you knew about Butt Boy.
Yeah. So, and I love how the movie. I have mixed feelings about how that last 20 minutes or so went, but at the same time, okay, I see you, Butt Boy, and I accept you for what you are. This movie is definitely one of those weird little anomalies. It's not like, we've had a lot of weird movies happen recently. And it's definitely not going to be like something like Cats, where I'm like, I'm gonna watch this again and again because it's so bizarre and fucking crazy. Like, this is definitely one of those movies where a good amount of the enjoyment comes from the initial shock and wondering where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to hold up over repeat viewings. But as a $5 rental and as a $10 to own thing, like I don't feel bad about supporting this. I think I'm going to show it to a couple of people. I bought it
more than you really would think you would enjoy a movie called Butt Boy.
Yeah, I was definitely pleasantly surprised by the quality of it, and how well the entertainment factor stayed around, and especially like weirdly the moments of genuine tension.
Yeah.
There were moments of real tension in this movie, and it's just strange to be watching Butt Boy and feel like, wow, I'm feeling actual suspense. What's going on?
The actors are playing it dead fucking straight.
Yeah, it's great.
And they kind of sell it in a way that you would not expect them to sell it. Like, even when the detective starts suspecting what's going on, and he's kind of like, this man is shoving stuff up his ass, and
and his boss is like,
the police chief is like, get the fuck out of my office.
But even when he's saying it, and the chief says it back to him, you can see him going, in his head, you could tell he's going, I can see how that sounds now that it's being said back to me, but I got to stick to it. I got to follow through. And yeah, so that's great. This was better than I expected it to be, honestly.
I agree.
It's by no means a masterpiece.
As good as it was, saying that these are kind of no-name actors,
Mm-hmm.
or at least I didn't recognize anyone. I was not expecting it to kind of go all in with the concept as much as it did.
Yeah. So, on that note, let's. Do you want to get to the full thing?
Yeah, let's get the
whole. Let's just do this.
Well, the whole thing out. Let's do it.
All right. Let's go way in. All right. Spoilers for Butt Boy. If you're gonna watch Butt Boy and you don't want to be spoiled on Butt Boy, go see Butt Boy. It's weird, and it's pretty good. Worth a watch. Definitely worth a rental at least.
So you want to talk about the butt sucking powers or the butt dimension first?
So here's the thing. As the movie progressed, the thing I thought of that made me start laughing that I'm going to tell you now, is there was this thing that happened when I was watching Minority Report, where I was watching the movie and, spoilers for Minority Report, but I was watching Minority Report and it got to the point where you think the bad guy won and Tom Cruise has been locked into his little goo prison, and that's it, right?
Yeah, I remember that part.
Okay, and then he gets rescued and goes and gets revenge and like brings the guy to justice and all that stuff, right? And I distinctly remember thinking when all that happened that I was dissatisfied with the concept of the happy Hollywood ending, and I really did think that the movie would have been better if it had ended with, the bad guy winning and Tom Cruise just being trapped in his prison, and feeling like that last piece of the movie was just like an attempt to go for a happy ending, and I felt like the movie would have been better without it. And I was wondering if I was going to feel the same thing when that moment happened in this movie, because there's a point where the cop gets fired from his job and he goes vigilante and goes after the guy, and when he goes after the guy, turns out that the dude has this new power that we have not seen up to this moment, where he flat out just creates a butt vortex and sucks the cop in from a distance, and you get this great shot of the cop's face just
Well, it's actually the second time we see it. The first time is like when he goes over.
It was just at the car, though. I thought he was just farting at that one, though.
Oh no,
that was in or out.
He was sucking shit in.
I think blowing stuff out. I didn't know what was happening.
Well, that's like I got the floppy disk back. That he was inhaling stuff up his ass.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't catch that at that point. I thought it could have been in or out, but at the same time, we had not anticipated that he is at the point where he could drag a full-grown man just all the way up his butt. From a distance. From a distance. He did it from a distance. That is a new level of butt powers. So that was definitely a moment. And I was thinking like, okay, has this movie jumped the shark? Because yeah, it goes from being like a semi with like not that many special effects. It doesn't really show anything being shoved up his ass up until that point. It's all kind of implied. And then you get this the cop comes to in this fucking butt cavern
It's a butt dimension.
with his
Right.
flashlight looking around and all the fucking
Like it's the upside down from Stranger Things, except it's just up a guy's
much
ass.
shittier.
And we spent a good amount of time on there, and you think like, oh god, it's gonna be resolved quickly, right? And then it cuts to 1 month later.
Yeah, no, it's we spend a good 20 minutes up this guy's ass. It's really weird.
And it
But
turns
he's going
out
around his day.
his ass is still alive.
Yep.
His ass is still alive. The dog is still alive.
Yeah, like everything he shoved up his ass was like, because you assume that the guy, the premise of it was he was pulling shit up his ass and digesting it and leaving behind these little weird, like, shit nuggets with little hair in them and stuff. And you figured that was all that was left of the little boy Lee. And then you find out, no, kid's just been living up this guy's ass, eating the poop that he can find. And it's just it's unpleasant. But
I think the part that both like killed us in that moment was when he gets up the ass the first time, which is a weird sentence to say out loud. And he runs into the kid he's been looking for, and they're kind of like, "I'm gonna get you out of here." And they come over, and you see in the background just this giant cloud monster slowly getting closer to them.
and the kid looks and he screams.
It goes, "It's a fart!" And they
With
both
completely seriously.
and they both run away from it like it's Indiana Jones running from the boulder.
All the seriousness of Indiana Jones running for his life, but it's this, they're running from the fart and they still play it straight. They still play it straight. It's so good.
And they come back to the real world, and he just goes.
and people, I don't know. I also love the comedy of him playing off that moment because he's in the hospital and he's surrounded by like friends and loved ones just passing the time reading magazines and shit. And he just lets out this fart and everyone has like some kind of reaction to it. And he just doesn't even break contact with the TV. He just keeps watching and grabs his cup of water and drinks from it and puts it back, like just plays it off. I don't know why that just struck me as really funny. I found that hilarious. And I certainly did not expect where it ended up. I was expecting something. Honestly, I was a little disappointed by it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of with you there. I was expecting something more explosive, but not in that way.
I really wanted to see a full-grown man emerge from this guy's ass in front of an audience, just like, just some kind of
his reaction of not the Chip's reaction of I can explain,
or him struggling to just pull it back in. No, I really, really, really wanted some kind of homage to the Shining.
You've always been here, Chip.
No, I was thinking of more like what's the detective's name?
Oh, God,
Chip's name all the time, but hang on, I'll find it. Butt boy. Butt boy. Russell. Here's Russell. Oh, it would have been so good. Yeah, man. Just there was definitely a point. I think in the first couple of minutes after he went up his ass and he woke up in the ass dimension, I definitely was like, okay, I don't know if I could be on board with this movie anymore. This has definitely crossed a threshold.
Honestly, it's kind of where I was more on board with it at that point.
That's the thing. As soon as I realized I was going to have to buy into this for the rest of the runtime, I was like, all right, let's see what you do. And I was pleasantly surprised with how it progressed. It was kind of interesting.
Well, of those things like, you know, if you're gonna go for it, fucking go for it. And after all, I was like, you know what, I have to respect that.
This movie went for it.
Like, you went all the way, literally and figuratively. You went all the way, and you know what? Props.
There's a certain measure of respect that has to be given to the people who made this movie a reality. It's
be a weird pitch meeting.
Yeah, how do you pitch this? How do you read this script and be like, I want to be the butt boy? Like, the dude who played Chip was great.
This guy was like, are you guys familiar with anal vor?
Oh, that explains it.
What?
The guy who played Chip was the director.
That makes a lot of sense.
He was invested in his vision. There you go. He was really invested in this mission.
Is he also the producer?
Oh my God. Chip Gutchell. Hang on. Okay, Tyler Rice is Detective Fox. Yeah, no, he was nah, he's just an actor. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was also writer, director, actor. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I figured.
Still, I mean, there you go. So
convince somebody to fund this.
He got funding and he made it happen, man. He made it happen with a decent ass cinematographer and did well for the budget he had. And like, yeah, no, it's kind of impressive. It's kind of impressive. I'm really looking forward to what this guy does next.
I'd say it's something we probably never would have watched if we weren't like in hardcore quarantine.
Definitely not. Although I might have pushed for you to see it in theaters with me, because if there was a theater showing somewhere, I would have been like, Michael, I'll drive. I'll buy your fucking ticket. Let's do this. I want this to be a theater thing. We should review this. It'll be great. All right, so
succeed too, because for some reason you keep talking and watching these weird ass movies.
I mean, I don't know. What are we gonna do? I like there are the movie release schedule right now is really weird because I feel like all of the movies that are hitting home video right now are movies that have already released in theaters. Like, I mean, except for what, Trolls World Tour?
Trolls World Tour, The Hunt, the Ben Affleck sports movie.
Oh God, no! But that came out in theaters before. That hit theaters before the quarantine.
That's true. Yeah, that one did.
So like, there's a good number of movies that just we haven't seen come out yet. So a lot of it is just releasing stuff that we already had the chance to see in theaters, or just weird ass shit that was better off on VOD anyway. So
I know Scoob is going VOD.
What's going on VOD?
Scoob.
Oh, the Scooby-Doo movie?
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. But anyway, I think that's part of the reason.
Speaking of taking opportunities, I will give Scoob credit for one thing, which is they have like Dick Dastardly in there, and they took the opportunity to be as immature about it as possible. Have you seen that clip?
I have not, but I'll save it for when I see the movie.
Well, just him going is like, my name is.
I'll see when I see the movie. Stop it. But yeah, Butt Boy.
The Gianni movies coming out in Netflix too.
Butt Boy.
Butt Boy, yeah, it's a weird time.
I give it a solid 6 out of 10, maybe a 7. But
yeah, that's kind of
yeah.
Definitely
going
all in.
Definitely has one of those things where it's like, again, I feel like I won't watch it again, but I'm really not. I don't regret spending the extra money to buy it, just so I could give it that money and be like, all right, bro, let's see what else you got. Let's see what's next. I really want to see the Swiss Army Man guys make their next movie. Let's do it. I want to see what comes next from these people, man. If you have this weird of a concept, where are you gonna go next? Let's see. So
where to open up or down.
Yeah, right. All right.
I think that's all you're really gonna talk for Butt Boy.
30.
So yeah, all that was that one. If you guys have anything you guys want us to watch that's on VOD or on Netflix or anything like that, let us know. At this point, we're pretty much open for anything.
I don't think we have time for Horse Girl tonight, but we should definitely still go back over that because
that's a movie. Convinced me to watch it like 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. When we started watching that movie very, very late, we still have the clip of both of us just trying to process it afterwards and just deciding it's 4:30 in the morning. We need to talk about this when we have more brain power available, because we couldn't tell if it was the movie that fucked our brains up or just the fact that it was late. Probably just a combo of both. But
I still remember it surprisingly well, all things considered.
Yeah, it's Alison Brie's first writing gig on a movie. She wrote that. That was her vision. She wanted it made, and there you go. Now we know what kind of creative person Alison Brie is, and just makes me love her even more. So, anyway, we'll do that soon.
And I know some of the other movies that came out earlier this year are starting to pop up on demand. So if we missed something that you guys want to see, let me know, and I'll gladly watch it. Other than that, I think me and Wes are also talking about restarting the old DC anime movie show that we did years ago.
Yeah.
That we stopped because we ran out of time, but now we both have a lot of time, so we're like, hey, let's do it again.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire is on Hulu, dude.
Oh yeah, but we already reviewed that though.
No, I know, but I feel like we can have an easier time telling people to go see it though, since it's just on Hulu. Just go fucking see it.
If you haven't seen a Portrait of a Lady on Fire review, go watch that and then go watch a movie on Hulu, or watch it Hulu first, then go see a review, whatever comes first.
It's a really incredible movie. But yeah. Anyway,
all right,
that's it for me.
Yeah. Thank y'all for watching. Later.
All right, man. Take care. Good night.
Good night.